Hey there, a big thank you to Shay's channel, Megademic, Ian Shelvington, Corrupted, Mike Excel, Blame Botic, Sil, Sabin, King, Snatcho, Kashi by Coalition of Seekers, and Twister from the Cold Chat for clicking the join button down below and contributing to the channel financially. If you do enjoy the content, please consider clicking that like button, subscribing, and ringing that bell to help support the content grow even further. We've also got a new merch store at golivemerch.com/let's suffer together with some great threads and other merchandise that'll help support the channel. Enjoy the show, my friends. Hey there, welcome back to Noita. I'm Sufferer of Let's Suffer Together, back in the mountains, my friends, and today, now it's been a hell of a long time, it's been a hell of a long journey in Noita. We have literally almost come up on 3,000 hours in the game. I think it's like 2,975 or 79 by now, so, hey, since early access, and since I did the first one of these, I've done a kind of basic guide to Noita before, but it's so out of date and so terrible. It was not my best effort, considering a lot of the information was either out of date or incorrect. I figured we'll do a brand new one, because there's still a lot of people coming towards the game. I know a lot of people who have been following the channel already know a lot of this, but hey, a lot of people don't, so we're going to start at the very basics. And this is going to be a free-form run. There's no editing, just, you know, as it comes up, because it allows me to react to certain things that happen on screen. You get a bit more of an organic approach. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, always feel free to ask in the comment section down below. Alright, so the very basics. You are in Little Noita. When you first open up the game and first start a run, you'll get a cutscene that you won't get again, so pay attention to it. It's semi-important to the lore of the game, because this is based on Finnish mythology and alchemy, the two ideas synergized together in its own original package in this wonderful world that you will adventure in. Right, so beginning at the very top, you've got your health. You start with 100. That can be increased. It can also be decreased, but generally you'll start with 100. Enemies hit really, really hard, so you'll be wanting to work on both your movement and killing enemies fast. Your orange bar is levitation energy. You have a base of 100. As you can see, when you levitate, it goes down. Now, you'll want to do your own button bindings and stuff like that. I play on controller, which is very possible. Again, we've got a lot of experience. You can use whatever tools you want. It will work. Just get comfortable, understand what you're doing. Levitation is really important for getting out of the way of enemies, for traversing through this entire place. And you'll get a good feel for how much levitation you have left. But don't worry, we all make mistakes, and you'll run out of levitation. You won't be able to get away from enemies, but hey, get used to it. Most definitely learn how to, you know, dodging enemy bullets is probably one of the most important things you'll be doing with your levitation, as well as, you know, climbing up places. But, you know, to save your life, you'll need to really work with levitation. Now, wand mana, each individual wand has its own statistics. Right, and we'll start with the basic. Shuffle, no and yes. Right, let's pretend these two wands have more slots. The non-shuffle, it basically, we'll say this can be shuffle and non-shuffle, because it's got two slots. This one is really hard to explain if it's got it's got no slots. But with two, alright, a non-shuffle wand will shoot that one first. It will go from left to right. If you have more slots, it will continue to go, you know, left, all the way from left to right. If it's a shuffle wand, say you have like 5 slots, it will take from them randomly. Take from each slot randomly, but each slot, it's right, think of it like a clip in a gun. If it's shuffle, it needs to get through that entire clip, but with shuffle, it'll take randomly, you know? This is a shuffle wand. If it had more slots, it would take from, say, the right one, then the left one, then the middle one. It has no order as a shuffle. And that's really important, because the magic on your wand is how you're going to kill enemies. But non-shuffles are the best. You want to be hunting them out, because then you know the order. You will be able to edit these at some point. Spell, cast, it's not too much to concern yourself with. 1s and 2s are the best, but any number is good. It can mess you up. Say you've got a shuffle wand that fires 6, and you've got a random wand with a load of stuff on it. You'll fire 6 things out, you know, all at once from the random clip. And if there's any explosives on that, it can get really messy. So just understand how many. As on a basic spell cast, you will fire one shot. Say it's a spell cast 2, you'll fire both shots. You know, so that's really basic. Cast delay, recharge time. Going into the whole gun thing again. Imagine it's a gun. So you've got your shuffle going from left to right. Or non-shuffle, sorry, going from left to right. Shuffle is taking randomly from the clip. Cast delay is the amount of time it takes for each individual shot from the clip to fire. Recharge time is the amount of time it takes for you to reload the clip. Max mana is the amount of mana you have on the wand. Each individual spell has its own mana. 5 mana drain per shot. This has 25. The charge speed, 28. 13. That's not really that high. You'll be looking, as you go down, you'll see ones with 50, 100, 200 mana recharge. The higher it is, the better. Because you're recharging the amount of mana. And while you see the blue bar moving, this isn't running out, because this is a really cheap spell. But it's recharging at the same time as you're firing, even before you've emptied the clip. The amount of capacity, 2 capacity, 1 capacity, I think that's self-explanatory. Spread, minus is good, plus is bad. Like 0.0 is complete, like, straight, completely straight. Minus is like super accuracy. You don't really need it apart from certain things. But if it goes into like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to have an inaccurate wand. Now, each spell has their own, things about them. Like, it has a speed. This shot increases cast delay. So, plus 0.05. So, imagine you got 0.25 cast delay per shot. Each time you shoot, it's going to add another 0.5. So, in fact, this wand, each time it shoots, because it shoots 2 of them, the overall time it takes to shoot the wand, 0.25 times 2, because there's 2 slots, plus the 0.05 it takes from the spell itself. Actually, the spread on this, it makes it more accurate to shoot these. -1 deg, and then you've got a 5% crit chance. So, you've got your items as well. You start with a random potion. Luckily, we've got water. So let's get into it. A nice quick tutorial on the very basics. Again, you are a squishy individual. You can kick, you can fly. I click with the B button. You want to get used to kicking. There are certain types of kills in the game that you'll really want to achieve. Because enemies drop gold. You want that gold. It's good for you. Because you'll need it. You'll really need it really quite badly. But again, enemies move really quick. They jump and they are ferocious. Hence why. And do not worry if you die. The entire point of this game is that you will die. A lot. How to get successful is to anticipate and to prejudge how enemies will come at you and how they shoot at you. Some enemies will hit you in the face because they've got melee. Some enemies will throw TNT, try and shoot you. You'll set yourself on fire. Luckily, we've got an inventory item that we can pull out. We can't have a wand out and an inventory item at the same time. So if we get set on fire, you can change around what you're holding. You see the little flash up in the top left? I can pour acid, I can pour water, then I can have my wand out. But you can't have them all out at the same time. So again, what you're looking to do is to anticipate how enemies will attack you, and that will be learned over a period of time. Like, you can dodge a shotgun, shoot me. You just jump over it like that, And that'll take time to really understand the timing of that, Because it gives you audio clues about when to react. This game can be a little bit, fuck it, ow. I want your money. Doesn't matter. I play better at lower HP because then I start paying attention, But again, you can't know how to... This is why dying is good, right? You need the experience about how you are dying to enemies. Water. So you'll get things like terrain destruction that will completely change the way the world is working around you. Because you'll get, stuff will fall. Every pixel is simulated, so every pixel can be destroyed in the game. every pixel can kill you. It's kinda true, because you can drown. You can get wedged. If you teleport, you can get wedged into terrain. And there's certain other things as well, like certain liquids that can have an effect on you, like polymorphine, that could turn you into another enemy that could get stuck in a wall. So technically every pixel that is actually a thing could kill you. But again, a lot of the time, distance is your friend if you've got good range on your one. But generally, you know, you will want to kill things. The best piece of advice I can give for a new Noita player, once you've got a few of the basics down, when you are, you know, building up to head downwards, and this is really important as well, but we'll get into that later. That when you are learning how to play the game, what you want to do, you want to be greedy in the first floors. You know? If you die early, it's easier to start up again if you've died early. You know, but if you've got down to the 3rd floor and you die, it takes a bit more time to get there, right? So what you want to do, you want to spend more time trying to get good in the first floors. And have more HP, more wands, more resources, more money to head to the Holy Mountain to help you then survive in the later floors. And you want to keep on doing that. Just try and stay as long as possible that your health will let you. Another really important aspect to this game, you see the red above me right now? That's blood. That's a stain. You have a little cape. Mine's gold because I've installed a mod that allows me to have a gold cape. It's great. But it's got a bit of blood on. Blood gives me an extra increased chance of attaining critical hits. Water. Say I was on fire before and you saw me splash myself with water. You know what? Say I set myself on fire. I splash myself with water. There's oil as well that'll get you set on fire. You lose damage, you lose HP if you get set on fire. So you want to pour your water out and make sure you douse yourself with water. Not everything will put fire out. Water, blood will, but a lot of the magical liquids won't. But you can stain yourself with multiple things. And a lot of the stains have a lot of unique effects. But you definitely want to get used to what each one does as you go through. Again, I'm not going to be going into too many spoilers and stuff like that. I'm going to be talking about, you know, big concepts. Because it's the most important thing. Again, I don't want to ruin your adventure and finding new things. But again, using your levitation to get the high ground, exploring the area as much as possible, you're going to eventually run out of HP. And you probably be forced downward. Sometimes you want to be greedy, because you want to learn how to survive at low HP as well. You want to see how far you can push things. Because the game will kill you. Don't worry about it. The game's got you covered anyway. And we pick up a brand new wand, right? So we'll assess this. It's a shuffle wand. So from these 4 shots, even though they're all the same, pretend they're all different. It will take, say, this one first, then that one, then that one, then that one. It's not going to go in a straight line. Luckily, they're all the same, so it makes no difference. Really good. 0.03 and 0.23. Pretty fast. You know, it'll reload within half a second. Each shot, pretty quick. However, these shots will increase cast delay by 0.17. So, overall, you're looking at about a 0.2 cast delay between each shot. Because this will increase 0.17, 0.03. So, overall, hold on, 0.0... No, yeah, 0.2 seconds per shot. So you'll be able to fire 5 of these shots a second. And the reload time, the recharge time, pretty much works out at the overall cast delay. So it's basically 0.2 cast delay and recharge. Meaning every action on the wand is about 1/5 of a second. You see that? Right, you see that orange bar? Right, you got money as well. But you see that orange bar that pops up below the blue? Very quickly, that's your recharge timer. If you see it going really slowly, you've got a really slow wand. So I forgot to mention money as well. You want to make sure you're getting as much as possible. Again, you'll find your own limits in floors about what you can get. Some floors are better than others. You have gold in the walls as well, which is really nice. But it's not really worth going for too much. We found a tablet you saw before on the right-hand side of this biome. Now, there is a specific way of killing in this game called trick killing. It is killing that is not your fault. You did not shoot the enemy. The game does not consider it your problem. And thus, you get a bonus. These normally give out 1 money. This guy's gonna find me. Oh, but they drop 2 gold. 1 and 2. Beautiful. So that's trick killing. Like tablets can do it. Well. And various other methods can get that done. Now, this dude, you can use certain things to do environmental kills as well. You can do physical damage. Say you drop a rock on somebody. There's a way to detach terrain to kill people. Again, you'll find a lot of different tools to do... Ow. Yes, you will find a lot of different tools in this game to do ow. You definitely will. That is a true statement. But you'll also get a lot... You see, it killed him with water. He's a fire dude, you know? Use your imagination. But we're getting the shit kicked out of us. However, we continue to explore. And there's another thing I want to show you. Just in general, because it's really important. Learning the game, you need to be aware of this. But we'll need to go there first. I'm not actually going to get it. I'm just going to show you. And then you know, it's a nice little present from me. But as I was saying, what was I saying? Maybe. But outside, you know, you're kind of enticed into the cave, aren't you? But there is other ways. Oh, that's beautiful. So what I did there, I landed on the thrown tablet. I literally landed on it because you need to land on solid ground to regain levitation. Normally, you couldn't fly up here. You'd run out of levitation before you even made it. And you run out, and you can fly again. You regain a very little bit of your levitation while falling. Not that much, though. Not enough to keep on levitating. You can slow down your fall and descent a little bit, but not too much. I landed on a solid object in midair to regain levitation. Hence how I was able to get up here. There's another thing you can do. If you want to get up higher a little bit, you can throw water up like that consistently. It's really kind of tricky to do, but you need to fire it straight up. And you can slow down your rate of levitation loss. It'll come in handy now and again. Especially to get up here. Now, you hear that sound? Very quiet in the distance. That, my friend, is an orb. Now, if you are playing this game and trying to learn, I highly advise. 1, you collect those. Mainly because it is an unlock. There are 11 of these throughout the world. And there's again, this game, it's not just about this world. And that's all I'm going to say. There is a lot elsewhere. We're talking big things elsewhere. The exploration in this game, hey, thousands of hours, my friend. However, you can get in here. You see me destroying the terrain with this? Now, since I've picked up no hearts in the first floor, I'm going to give myself some extra HP. When you first pick this up, it will be an item. And you will unlock that item. Every other time you pick it up, it will be a health. So it's a familiar orb of true knowledge. You are rewarded with additional health. We got 150. Oh, we did find a HP in the first floor. My memory is so terrible. But acid, terrible. That'll kill me. But again, kicking is another way of getting trick kill. You know, I threw the tablet before. Kick rocks, boxes, that kind of thing. And we get our tablet back. Yay. You can also, you know, kick at the tablet. Hey, but once again, if you have any questions and want any further, you know, advice, or just want to chill and chat and enjoy some good gaming, we stream live at twitch.tv/Let's Suffer Together. But explosives, you know, you want to be using those. That's a dangerous pool. I mean, there's a chest inside. Now, you need to make good decisions as well, you know. At 24 HP, I could go in here. If I drop a bomb here, open this up, they will immediately start coming to attack me. I could drop another bomb in, but I'm not going to kill everybody. However, I know I've got this wand, that is actually really good at knocking them out. Information, my friends, is king. And use the high ground and the dodge work. Another thing, right? This green toxic is percentage-based damage. When you get it on your cape, it's a liquid. It will go on your cape, and it will stick. If you don't move, it will stay on your cape forever. To remove liquids off your cape, you move around, or you put another liquid on your cape to wash it off. Now, this toxic, this little green stuff, sticks on your cape and does percentage-based damage, much like fire does. You can neutralize it, and you check this little bit. Neutralize it. Alright, see you later. Let me just get this shit out of the way. Well, let me mix it up. There we go. So it's become water now. We can get a bit more water and neutralize all of the little bits of toxic we have. And you want to refill your water potion, by the way, when you use it. So all this toxic now will turn to water. Hey, that chest had a load of different spells in. Very nice. That'll help me in the future. Right then. But watch out for small environmental things like lanterns, which will set on fire. One of the ways you will die is being chipped away over time. And fire is one of the biggest offenders in that, as well as toxic. But fire is just worse. Explosions as well, although they'll kill you quicker. But again, barrels everywhere. So you want to explore, but again, you don't want to die exploring. But you want to explore enough that you get the maximum potential that you can with your skill set. Which is a difficult balance. You're going to have to, you know, learn how to do that. Again, a lot of times. So again, toxic into water, make it safe to traverse. Keep pouring it out, and you can refill water by having your potion out and standing in the water. Even if it's not even submerging you, you can still pick it up. Like, that won't fill because the potion is above my head, but if I'm looking down, it'll fill up more. So you always want to be looking down, if you can safely do so. There is all... this isn't really a beginner's thing, but you know what? I'm at 24 HP. Oh dear. I could legitimately just say, I'm going now, but I didn't. And we find another HP up there. Oh, that dude oiled up. Right. It's a bit of an advanced move, but I'm going to show you anyway, right? If he falls, I need him to do something. Yep. Right. You see that? That's boxed in, isn't it? That's fully boxed in. There's no way of me getting liquid in there. Get a nice HP. Well, for one, that dude needs to die, so... Oh, he's gone. He's fine. But I can't get in there, right, with my water. It's fully boxed in. Lies. I can, and I will. But up warping, I can do it on any terrain as long as I'm shooting up like that. You can kind of do it to the side as well. You see it coming down from the top there. You want to experiment with that because it can be really handy. But we explode to get the wood, easily destroyed terrain. Again, you're going to have to learn what terrain is destructible with what method. And we find a new black hole wand. Ooh, black holes are great. Very expensive on the mana. Again, 180 mana drain. We only have 3 of them. Some spells, like the giant firebolt, giant magic missile, cost a lot of mana, and you only have a certain amount of them. Because they are highly damaging spells. Don't worry about that requirement. It's, but yeah. You know, 90 mana drain, but the damage is really high. It will also damage you if it explodes in front of your face. So again, you want to be careful on that. I want to see what that potion is. I also want to go back and see that fire dude, because if I drop water on him... Oh, that's a Ukko stone. That's an electricity stone. Maybe we'll see Ukkos in a little while. But this dude, he is my ticket. So you knew... I threw tablets at someone before for a trick kill. Oh, he died in that water. He died by himself. It wasn't my fault. He drops double money. He usually drops 30 money. He gave me 60 for that. So another way you can expedite resources. But if you're really low on HP and you're struggling and you're dying a lot, but you want to explore more, one of the best things you can do is to work your way across the bottom of a biome. Stay near the portal. you know, but work your way across like this. Clearing it, but staying close to a point of safe retreat. Watch your back as well. Always know what's behind you, because it's so easy to get flanked in this place. Like, enemies move real fast, like faster than you realize. Because obviously you can see how fast they move on screen. You see them and you're like, you will be very surprised a lot about how fast enemies will appear off screen to on screen. Even, you'll think it's impossible. You will literally start thinking the enemies spawn into the game when they don't. Enemies are always where they are. But we'll go down, because the Holy Mountain, through this portal, that's progression. Down here, and we find a full HP. Right. I only have 3 of these bombs on this wand. You know, this gave me 3 at the very start of the game. We now have 0. I can't use this anymore. But 1, we get a full HP. Beautiful. And it refills. This is a test dummy to see your damage per second. I can get 6 damage per second. Great. Great stuff. How about this? Hey, about 25... Depends where you stand. If you charge... And this is the great thing about charging, right? If I charge... Hey, I get up to 42. You know? If I'm moving away... A bit less, you know? So... Charging, you can get more damage. Moving away, you're going to probably get less. Just a nice little thing to consider in your own mind about how aggressive and defensive you should be in any given situation. Because the game's going to force you to make decisions very rapidly. And you come to a shop. This can sell wands as well. Fully fledged wands that you'll be able to assess the details it gives you. It'll give you spells on the wands. But this is just a shop. And again, each of these things, this is important. A timer is important. A circle of displacement, I suppose that is important because it's a type of spell. Yes. Edit wands everywhere. Now, you come here, you will find 3 perks that you can choose from. You can choose one of them. There are other perks that allow you to pick more perks and various things. But again, you'll learn those as you get them, and, you know, I'm not going to spoil too much in that regard. However, this one will allow me to edit anywhere. Because the one thing is I haven't mentioned yet, I can now edit my wand, which I couldn't out of the Holy Mountain previously. When I was in the biome above, because the Holy Mountain, that portal sends you downwards. This actual shop is directly below the biome you were in. You can literally dig upwards here, and within half a screen to a screen, you'll be back in the biome above. You can't edit while in the biome above, or the biome below. There is a biome directly below me, and you can't edit in that. However, we can edit here, so we can mix and match. We can shove these here, and then it'll, because it's a shuffle wand, it won't shoot this in a row, and then these 2. It will say shoot a spark bolt, then a slime, then a slime, then a spark bolt, then a slime and a slime. So it's just completely random when it shoots. It's just anarchy on a wand, basically. We can also make one of them purple. Say I put a projectile modifier on a shuffle wand. It might shoot a spark bolt, a slime ball, a spark bolt, then it hits the projectile modifier, which will attach itself as a modifier of a projectile to, say, a slime ball, or whatever it hits next, and then a slime ball. So you'll see one purple shot. I know my spark bolts are purple. It's a different shade of purple, you know? However, on a non-shuffle wand, if I put the, you know, purple glimmer there, and there, this modifier will modify this projectile. However, it's technically wrapping that. Wrapping is a whole nother can of worms that's, you know, quite advanced stuff. Check the wiki if you want to know why this occurs. One's purple, one's not. You know? It's a bit weird. But, again, a modifier will modify a projectile after it. we don't have a really good non-shuffle wand. Have you noticed the mana on this one? 250 maximum, 50 charge speed, compared to the nearly 200 max and the 50 charge speed on this. Because the charge speed is around the same, if you're not running out of mana, it doesn't really matter which one you pick. So you might as well pick the fastest one. So if this doesn't run out of mana here, which it actually does do, however, it fires enough that you can retreat and the blue bar gets back up again, start firing at the enemy again, shoot enough, retreat, let it recharge, you know? So I could pick the one with more mana, but this fires faster overall. It recharges faster, you know? One of its better kind of notable issues with this one, 0.23 compared to the 0.42 of this one. So you're getting an extra, you know, 0.2 of a second higher rate of fire, but you will need to accept it running out of mana. You know, this one will run out. Actually, will that one run out of mana? Because of the, if you have an extra 0.2 recharge speed, technically it's firing slower, but it might, you know, be a bit more stable over a longer period of time. You see it taking a longer time to run out. So you've got to make your decisions about, do you want slow, do you want fast, or do you want slow and steady, you know? Certain, you know, things like this, Luminous Drill with a timer will, as you can see, look at the bottom, reduce cast delay and recharge time. So say I slot that there. The cast delay will be taken down by about 0.6. And the recharge time, say I put the recharge on this one, it'll run out of mana because it costs a lot, but that's super fast, you know? It runs out of mana super fast because this particular spell per shot costs 30 mana. And because it makes it fire so fast, it just runs out immediately. However, if you get a high mana wand or a wand that has a higher charge speed than max mana, which you can get, say, a 400 charge speed wand with 200 max, and silly numbers like that. A really high charge speed can really work these quite well, so you'll be looking out for those. But the thing like a Luminous Drill can allow you to dig through terrain, which is really important. We can just leave. Like that Lumi Drill right there, without the timer, because it's the timer itself. And to talk on timers, you notice the actual shot. Well, it's actually better if I do it off this one because it's the only non-shuffle we've got. Again, they go in order, so I want to show you properly. If it's not going in order, it can be a little bit messy and it won't show you properly. A timer, even though this Luminous Drill is only on screen for 1 frame, will shoot this out the end of it. You don't get trigger Luminous Drill, but you do get other trigger spells, which we can go into in a bit when we find one. But the Luminous Drill with timer, because it runs out really quick, you know, it's just one of those that allows something to be fired off the end of it, and the spark bolt will come out the Luminous Drill timer. Can I buy any other timer? I can, which is cool, because I get to show you properly how a projectile timer works that has actual distance and isn't just alive for 1 frame. So a spitter bolt with timer, it will fire out, and then after a certain distance, well, after a certain amount of time, it will fire the spark bolt. So once it gets to a certain time, it just fires out the other. Triggers and timers are really important. A trigger will need to hit a target or a wall. Like a trigger will basically act like that, you know? If I fire a trigger, which you'll see with a little kind of star, I think. It's not really a star, it's more of a... we'll try and find one. But with the trigger, you have to hit a target. But you can essentially load up. Right, bear with me and use your imagination, right? Imagine this was a non-shuffle one. So say it's going from left to right. You've got something called multicasts in the game, where double spell, triple spells, quadruple spells. You'll find these kind of like 2 paper, but you'll also find something like this. You know, these triple scatter spells. Where if you just put it on a one like this, you'll get a lot of extra scatter. It'll give you a lot more deg, basically. It'll make it more inaccurate when it actually operates. Plus 20 deg, you see that? But it'll fire 3 shots at once. If we put it on a non-shuffle wand, pretend this is non-shuffled again, and we fired this spitter bolt with timer, we might as well do it with this, because I said that we can do it with this. I can't actually, because it won't actually show you, because it's not actually a non-shuffle. But say I fire the spitter bolt with timer, when it reaches the time to release that spark bolt, as you saw before, a double spell will allow you to fire both those two at the same time and hit the target. You know, if you hit a target, that is. The great thing about it is, if you use something like a timer and hit a target with, say, 20 plus deg, it will fire these two, but you won't really experience the inaccuracy, you know? If the timer hits a target, it'll kind of explode those two onto it, getting some really good damage. The triggers are probably the best, because when it hits the target, you know, it's guaranteed to do those two. A timer can pop in mid-air, you know? The real problem with a timer, it gets released after a certain time. So, do you really want to be within that distance of the enemy to, you know, have it pop off? Triggers are a bit better because, you know, it isn't a distance thing. It's a hit the target kind of deal. But it's generally pretty good. Again, timers and triggers are your keys to victory. They really are. They'll allow you to stack up. Say you have a... I'll show you. I'll get triggers and hopefully some things I can show you that really, really allow some good damage. Yeah, these rats, they're good people. They're not. They bite your feet. If I can find... Nah, get away. But you can literally go through this game like pretty much pacifist. You don't need to kill anyone. You don't need to collect any gold. There's a load of individual challenges that actually, once you get a lot of experience, aren't that difficult. Come on, just find me a nice little wand full of goodies. To be fair, the game is really evil, and it won't give you what you want. I'm just going to fight people, you know. For one, this isn't that bad damage, even though it looks bad. It's not that bad. I've lived with worse. I just got kind of greedy and thought I could flex on these fools. Collect the money, you know, I might need some later. But it's knowing your limits, what can hit you and what can't hit you. Here's another thing as well. Always check the spell, because this purple glimmer is reducing casterly. You know? So there's always something in the background that's like possibly helping you or hindering you when it comes to spells. Really take the time to understand your spells and what it's doing, and you will be a better Noita for it. You see that purple? That's slime. Enemies sometimes bleed slime, and it slows you down when it's on your cape. Wash it off. It, however, allows you to be a little bit fire retardant, you know? Where's the wands, man? It's a question you will ask yourself over and over again. By the way, in this game, where's the wands? However, it's not just this biome. Oh, there it is. It's not just this biome that exists. Oh, a wonderful trick kill again. It's not just this biome that exists in this area, right? We're going to head to a place. Well, shocking. Oh, one. You see? This is why we come this way. In general, that's a pretty dank wand. You see, the number's pretty low. As long as the numbers aren't above half a second on the recharge time, especially, you really want a low caster. Unless you're only... If you only fire one shot off the wand, Casterlay won't exist, because it doesn't need to get to that. It doesn't need the Casterlay to get to that second shot. It's instantly reloading. If you fire one shot, it's instantly reloading. Definitely remember that one. You know, that'll be important. Because triggers and timers allow you to trick the wand, basically, into thinking it's only firing one shot. Oh no, he's back. Well, he's not back. Let me show you something real quick, because it's important to actually... Where is it? What happened? Oh, I dropped the wand. Yeah, always know where your resources are. Charmin! But this is a basically nice little firework launcher. It has only got a certain amount of shots, but you know, it'll pop people. Oh dear. So we're coming to a place of great importance called the Fungal. The Fungal Cave. Right, we'll put our bomb back in our inventory. Again, you can only normally do this in Holy Mountains unless you've got the perk I've got. Edit. Well, I call it edit. But Tinker one's anywhere. Right, I'll take that back. But I want to show you a concept real quick because it's super important for timers and triggers and how to get faster firing ones while delivering a payload. Whether it concerns timers or triggers. Right. If you have a timer and say I put a luminous drill on the end. Ah, oh dear. So when I fire, there you go. And because this has good mana, 400 and 100, 400 max, 100 charge speed, the luminous drill will come out the end after a certain amount of time. However, even though I have 2 projectiles on this wand, there is no cast delay. The game, the one system, only thinks there is one spell being fired. It's always reloading. And because, you know, this reduces recharge time by 0.17, it's basically, you know, just firing out super fast. So you use in combination the trick on a non-shuffle wand. It's a lot more exceptional. The triggers and timers can remove the idea of cast delay. Right, again, say this was a non-shuffle wand again. If I just end up doing that, I have the ability, if this, say this had more slots as well, if I have a double spell and a triple spell, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 places to put stuff, right? The problem here is, right, and it's probably better this way, I have 3 spells I can cast simultaneously. The trouble is, if you stack these kind of spells, the next one after it, you will only get 1 of them. It's just the way it works, you know? So I have overall, even though it says double and triple, I have 5, I don't, I have 4. So I could place 4 spells after this, and they would come off the timer itself. Unfortunately, unless I can... yeah, it's just a mess, isn't it? So that's the general concept. So I could trick... say this is a non-shuffle wand. At the moment, I would... and do this, and... because it's a triple, it would accept these 3 off the timer. This would be a one-shot wand. It would not have any cast delay. It would only have recharge time. Which is really important to know, because again, there is some really powerful tools with timers. It's triggers for the most part. Because with a trigger, if you've come across a chainsaw, really, really cheap mana-wise. However, it does 10, well, it does 13 damage, and it does slice damage as well, which is really important. Types of damage will be important, but that's more advanced stuff. Certain enemies have immunities or resistances to certain types of damage. But if something's being ineffective, try some other type of damage, because you can look at the spell and see it has certain types. You know, you'll see slice damage, explosion, electric, you know, that kind of thing. So one thing fails, use something else. If you can, if you survive the encounter. But yeah, if you have a trigger and you get the triple scatter spells or double scatter spells, and you make a trigger wand, so say this was a trigger or timer, and then you got a triple, and then you put 3 chainsaws after this, you start stacking that damage. And because chainsaws are really low mana consumption for the amount of damage they produce, and you can modify things, you know, on the wand itself. Let me just take this down. Really annoying. So, I really just need to find a non-shuffle one. Give me a sec. Just give me a hot minute. We'll survive, it's fine. I've got the good ones. It's a non-shuff, and we got chainsaws. Oh, yes. Right, let me just... Now, give me a trigger. Let me out, what the fuck? Oh no, that can kill me. certain things do certain very, very high bits of damage. I don't like that. But this biome has a biome modifier. It's humid in here, so shots won't really go that far. You know, humidity will stop the shots in their tracks. It's just a bit thick in here, you know. That's an example of a wand with a high charge speed to a low max mana. So you can only put spells on this wand up to 83 mana, you know? So, say the, you know, explosive I used before, 90 mana drain, but it's only got, what is it? I'm confused. This has 83 mana max. I wouldn't be able to use that 90 mana spell on this wand. It would just be impossible. It can charge, but charge won't actually, you know, help you fire. It's the max mana on the wand that you can't exceed with these spells you've got on your wand, especially if it's a one-shot weapon. And, you know, you're talking about triggers and timers. That's another... I'm going to take that double. Again, if you have edit wands everywhere, take everything. Take everything you can. But right, we've got chainsaws. So I'll be able to... And a good non-shuffle wand now. Let me just get out of it. This is dangerous. This is the Fungal Caves. A deadly place. With some goodies in. However, there are biomes at the side of biomes. There is a lot of exploration in this game that you'll want to get going to. Right, let me just leave. Ah, mushroom, how you doing? So, unfortunately, I don't have a trigger, so I'm going to have to do this mid-air. Ah, no, that's perfect. That is wonderful. Right. Say I have a timer, and I'm using that timer or trigger. Again, triggers, you are required to hit the target or hit a wall, you know? You can't have the trigger expel these three mid-air. A timer can. A timer can also hit, you know, you see the sparks there? That's the chainsaws. So, I can modify all three of these chainsaws, so they do 13 damage each. I can modify with one modifier, all these three. So say I have a damage modifier. These are already doing 13 damage. Say I had a damage modifier that increased 10 damage. It would apply to each one of these if I put it before the multicast. Because the light at the moment is will light up all these three. However, say I had these three, and when it was in midair, it split apart. Each three shots would have a light. Unfortunately, this doesn't have enough mana. So you come across those problems. Oh, it does. Each one of those has a light attached to it. I need to get into some place with darkness to show you. Because light will illuminate the darkness. So you see the light, it's illuminating the future path. If they spread out more... Yeah, there you go. Because it's got 20 deg, coming off a timer, it can spread out, and you get lights attached to all three. But that's where damage modifications and chainsaws really come into it. As a simple killing wand, it will get you very far. I do recommend, again, the trigger, because time is mid-air, and a mid-air chainsaw. However, one shot, 61 damage. But yeah, if you get a spark bolt, timer, spark bolts are great. They have good distance behind them. I mean, good range, I mean. These things are really quite short, you know, you don't have much range. So I'm having to get close to the enemy. You'll find triggers and timers of various distance. I need some more water. Again, watch your resources as well, you know. Even get blood. Because blood's actually pretty good. Blood acts like water, but you get the crit chance, you know? But as you come down in biomes, obviously it gets more difficult and more difficult. Hence why I said before, you know, you want to really, you know, explore the early areas as much as you can. But I killed that nest in 2 shots. That's a pretty hefty nest, you know? with the 3 chainsaws chewing these guys apart. 1 shot each. So, with the concept of the multicast on the end. So you see how I'm stacking multiple disciplines? I am getting rid of cast delay by making it 1 shot. It's shooting out the spitter bolt alone, basically. It's just shooting out the spitter bolt because I'm attaching the chainsaws to the spitter bolt via the scatter spell. Because it's a timer. You can't just say do this with a regular shot. It won't work. It needs to be a timer or a trigger. What will happen here? I'll shoot out the slime ball, but you see the sparks on my wand? That is a chainsaw coming out of my wand, you know? It won't come out the end of these. You need it to be a timer or a trigger. They're looking bad in the dark. Yeah, there's some polymorphine up there. I have to say, my friends, that pink liquid up there, be very, very, very fearful of that. Go out your way to avoid it. I'll demonstrate, I suppose. Just because you need to recognize the color of it. I am now a sheep. That will get you killed. Most definitely, that will get you killed. Watch out. Certain enemies can shoot that, and there's various ways of getting turned into a sheep or other enemies in the game. Watch out, my dear friends. I care for you. I do not want to see you dead. This guy... Oh, let's get teleported. He sharded me. If he'll teleport you 3 times. And there's various ways of getting screwed over in the game. Absolutely. But again, explore the early areas as much as you can. I'm sorry. There we go. That's a bit better. Dude was waiting. But again, kicking can be your best friend as well, you know? Although you probably want to shoot them. You probably want to shoot them. But as we head down, again, full health, full recharge. What? One last thing, because I don't want to spoil too much. I think it's been a good tutorial for the very basics of, you know, trying to get you on a solid footing. I really wish I could have found you a trigger. However, the concepts are pretty much the same. Just remember, timer is in midair, and when it hits a target, trigger only releases, say the chainsaws in this case, when it hits the target. It won't just release it midair. Like, I can get chainsaws in midair, but it doesn't really do anything, you know, with this. There's no point in releasing chainsaws midair. However, say I put this on it for a timer, releasing it midair, then the shot continues. Certain shots only exist for 1 frame, like the chainsaw and the luminous drill. So, you know, on a timer, a chainsaw in midair isn't going to do anything if it doesn't hit a target anyway. So that's why triggers are better. Unless, you know, with the slime ball, you might want to try and get some extra distance with a timer. You can even sometimes kind of shoot around corners, bend a shot around a corner. But one last thing, my friends, one last little person you need to be very, very careful of. Now, my friends, I am not going to get into combat with this dude. I'm just going to, you know, leave that with you. And just leave you with a warning. Don't destroy holy mountains, my friends. Don't do it. You will get into a lot of trouble. But I hope and wish you the best of luck, you know, and your Noita adventures. I hope this has helped. Thank you for being a part of this channel, enjoying the content. Always consider dropping a like, subscribing, and ringing that bell. We've got more Noita content, more roguelite game content, you know, for your pleasure. And consideration here at Let's Suffer Together. Also got the join button down below if you want to support the content. Also merchandise at the Go Live merch store, you know. GoLiveMerch.com/Let's Suffer Together. We also stream at twitch.tv/Let's Suffer Together. All the links down in the description. Thank you, guys. And again, we stream a hell of a lot of Noita on Twitch. Come and join us live, my friends. We're there for you for a good time as well. For, you know, meet like-minded people who like the same games, and just cool people from around the world. We've got a great community there. I'd love for you to join us. You know, any day, time of the week, schedule on the About page on Twitch. But again, It's been a blessed time with you folks. I hope you have a wonderful day, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for taking the time to enjoy this. I'm Sufferer of Let's Suffer Together. I'll catch you soon, Renegades. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.